So on the live stream today, we are looking at all things Kajabi. And then you see it down now, I don't have the green screen overlay on. Look at that. Oh, what a nightmare. What an absolute disaster of a live stream this is turning out to be. But nobody's going to know except you, all my friends. On this live stream, then, we are looking at all things Kajabi. We got there in the end. Because over the past week, I have been going through the process of transferring my website over to Kajabi and then also launching my first Kajabi course as well. So I managed to get all of that done sort of in a week. Now, it wasn't really starting from scratch because obviously I had a lot of existing content over on my my previous website for Take One Tech, and then it was a case of sort of putting together all of the course and so on. So what we'll do is we'll go through step by step, and I'll talk about why I'm using Kajabi and all of the different sort of features that I've discovered so far. But there is plenty more to discover, I'm sure. But I am really loving the interface and sort of working my way around it. So first of all, why Kajabi exactly? Well, previously, I had my Take One Tech website over on Squarespace, and I love Squarespace. I've been using it for 15 years or so for various different websites that I've got. I did used to actually in a former existence used to be a web programmer. Well, I say former existence, just a previous role that I had, and so I'm perfectly familiar with coding websites and things like that. But really, Squarespace, it just took all of the hassle out of that. And so when I started doing other businesses, I decided rather than hand coding websites in HTML and JavaScript and whatever, I would just literally move over to Squarespace, because then you don't have to worry about any of the updates and things like that. And so there's loads of platforms around like that now, obviously, but at the time, really, the options were limited in terms of what you could use for a sort of that sort of website building platform. But Squarespace has been really good to me over the years for multiple different businesses. But one thing that it doesn't do as well as certainly as Kajabi is the whole course hosting. And Kajabi is really built around the concept of building online courses and hosting online courses. So when I started looking at different avenues that I wanted to go down in terms of the channel, and after having a really good coaching session with Doc Rock, where we were talking about the sort of direction of the channel, what I was going to be doing with it, and decided that I wanted to really be starting to consider putting out course content that was related to the channel, then I was looking for options. And to be honest with you, the option that I was going to go with originally, and even started setting things up for my Zoom course, which is coming out very soon. I'll talk about that later. But I did start going down the route of ClickFunnels, because I've used ClickFunnels for years as well. And that is basically really designed around the concept of building sales funnels, but it also has the ability to host courses on there as well. So you can build the complete funnel from, your advertising campaigns on Facebook or wherever they're advertised, sending people through to landing pages, sending them through your sales funnel, and then on to your course. I've always really liked ClickFunnels for its simplicity. It does a job and it does it very well, and it's easy to sort of build these funnels out. And it was also pretty user-friendly for building out courses as well. So I've done a number of courses that I've been hosted on ClickFunnels, and again, I've been pretty happy with it, to be honest with you. But one thing that it's not so good at is if you want to use it for your actual website. So Squarespace is great for building website, but not so good for funnels and courses. And ClickFunnels is great for funnels and courses, but not so good for websites. And so that was when I was looking at really combining these two and making the course content an integral part of what I'm doing with Take One Tech. Then I thought, well, I'll give Kajabi a go. And it obviously came on the high recommendation of Carly as well. So thank you very much once again for the recommendation, because what I found is, whilst Squarespace is easy to use and ClickFunnels I found has been easy to use, I think I actually prefer Kajabi to either of those. I feel like it is more in line with my my way of thinking and sort of building things out as well. So whilst those other platforms are great, I actually think that Kajabi does a better job at both of those. So it isn't like I'm sort of sacrificing, something to get something that does all things. It actually does them better, I think. Certainly, the course building point of view is far easier to do in Kajabi, and I think a lot more intuitive as well. It's okay in ClickFunnels, but yeah, definitely Kajabi's got one up on it. So that is the whole reason why I'm using Kajabi now. So thanks in a large part to Carly, but then also just to be able to bring all of these different things together. The other thing, by the way, there's a little missing piece of the jigsaw that I haven't mentioned, which is video hosting. So if you are going to be creating courses and things like that, you've got to think about where you are going to actually host the videos that you are putting into your courses. So previously with ClickFunnels, you can obviously host them all on YouTube and have them as sort of unlisted videos, and then have them bought into the ClickFunnels course or whatever like that, embedded in a web page. The thing about that is it's very difficult to get rid of all the YouTube controls and things like that, and people can basically just follow the link and grab the actual video and all that sort of stuff. So from a security point of view of making your course content not so, shall we say, copyable, downloadable, there are other options. And one of them is a thing called Wistia. And that is for hosting your videos, but then you also get to use them on your site without the branding and things like that. You can have a custom video player so it looks more in line with the brand of your site and so on. So that's what I had been using for hosting course content before. The thing about Kajabi is it's got sort of built-in hosting, but it's actually all provided by Wistia as well. So you're ending up getting all of the sort of Wistia backend for your video content that you're going to use in your course, but it's all just part of the Kajabi package, and it really makes it a pretty affordable and cost-effective solution. So I'll talk about the pricing later, but just very briefly, the price that I pay for ClickFunnels is around about $300 a month. There's two tiers with ClickFunnels. There's either $99 or $300 or $297, whatever it is. Let's round it up, $100 or $300. With the $300 one, you get this is ClickFunnels now I'm talking about. You get the sort of email marketing backend and the ability to add affiliates and all this sort of stuff. So you don't get the affiliate functionality on the $99 package with ClickFunnels. So it's $300 a month for that. My Squarespace site was, I think, around about $50 or something like that. I can't remember exactly the monthly price, something about that. And then Wistia is $100 a month, and that includes up to 10 videos. But for every additional video, it's like an extra 25 cents. Well, my Ecamm Live Masterclass has got over 100 videos. So it would be $100 for the first 10, and then 10 cents, 25 cents or whatever it is for all of those other videos. So it quickly sort of racks up if you're starting to build multiple courses. So you're looking at sort of around about, $500 or something like that for all of those different services. Then if you think about things like any email marketing things that you might want to add on separately to that, it all sort of adds up. Whereas with Kajabi, the plan I'm on at the moment is sort of the middle one, which is around about $200, and it does everything. So it's actually, really saving me an awful lot by switching to Kajabi as well. And it does it all better. And it's all integrated, all in one place. So with that little point made, let me actually get into telling you about Kajabi and how I'm using it. So the first thing is, it is for my website. So my website, as I say previously, was on Squarespace. I wanted to do a bit of a redesign anyway, because my whole thing with this channel was I call myself the recovering perfectionist, or a recovering, not the. There are plenty more of me. So that is the reason for that little logo down in the bottom corner. And the whole point of the channel and the whole point of my site really was it wasn't perfect from the start, and I don't expect it to be. Whereas before I would have sort of sweated over it and tried to get every little thing absolutely perfect. In this case, I just sort of put it out there. And so knowing that there was plenty that I wasn't really happy about with it. And so this has been a bit of a redesign. I'm still not happy with it, by the way, but it's just got a bit of a different look and feel to it than I had in my first attempt at it that I've had for 10 months or whatever it is. So let me just actually show you the website, shall I? Just in case you haven't seen it. And we'll go over here. And so this is the sort of redesign of it, and that's kind of what it looks like. I haven't really done much on this myself, except add in my silly little picture there. I've got obviously the obligatory things like contact page, store, and all that sort of stuff. So a little contact page, store, and that's where you can find all my icon packs, the course, which we'll be talking about later. So all of this is just built in Kajabi. And to be honest, this is just a template. I mean, I've hardly changed it at all, in fact. So if I come over to the Kajabi backend interface, so here we've got some different sections on the left-hand side. So get started. Look at that. I've completed 100% of all the startup steps. That's unlike me. Usually I start going off on tangents, but I've actually done it. So the first thing is you've got the website. So this is where you're going to look at designing the actual main website and the look and feel of it. And then we've got some other sections, and I'm going to go through these sort of one by one. So we've got products, sales, marketing, people, and analytics. There's not much to look at in the analytics, and I won't show you the people because obviously I don't want to show you people's names and stuff like that. But I can show you a sort of dummy version so we can go through and have a look at the sort of things that you'll see. But here is where you sort of control your website. I've literally just used a theme here, and the theme was this one. It was called Rise, and I just adjusted it, so I just did the colors and stuff like that, but I've not really put a lot of my own creativity into it, shall we say. I've changed some of the stock images that you've got in the background of it, so like the things up here, but I actually just genuinely like the look of it as it was, so I just changed colors and things like that. But the way that you customize it is it's very sort of straightforward to do, to my mind at least. So if you go into like customize a page, and then it's going to just load up very slowly, obviously, since we are live. I wonder if oh no, I thought I was blocking some internet connection there. So basically you've just got all the different sections. So if I click in this section, this is called the hero section at the top. I like that. Aren't I a hero? This is that's what they call it, like a hero banner or something like that, where it's got often your picture or something like that with a call to action. And then we just got all these different sections. So they're all just sort of modular. If I want to swap those around, say I don't want that one there, I want to move it, you can just drag and drop it. So it's just literally going to move those things all around. I've got other blocks that I haven't quite added in yet, but you can still just go and edit them. So it's got like this one. This one's going to have 3 featured products or services that I haven't got in because it's just got that little eye symbol, a bit like the one that you get in Ecamm Live, actually, isn't it, to hide overlays. So that's hidden at the moment. Testimonials, we've got that one hidden at the moment while I just get those in, and then various other different things. So it's just really sort of easy to add in these sections. And like I say, these were all pretty much, the sections were already made. This one was, you know, sort of places that you were what do they call it? Like if you'd been seen in the media and stuff like that. I obviously haven't been, so I just use that as a little place to put some of my affiliate links in there. But that's basically as easy as it gets, just sort of dragging these things around. I'm not going to go into all of these things. I'll probably make a series of videos actually about specifically each of these individual things, but it's as simple as that really. So if I come back out from here, that's just to design the sort of overall layout. But then we've got pages where you can create all the different pages on your site. One of the things that Kajabi doesn't do that Squarespace did do is it doesn't do redirect links. So I used to have, for example, well, in fact, the ones that are just down beneath me here. So takeonetech.io/ecamm, that was a redirect link on Squarespace that when you type that in, it would go directly through to Ecamm using my affiliate link. Same with my takeonetech.io/TubeBuddy/kit to go to my gear page and /merch. So with Squarespace, you could actually use a URL redirect where you didn't actually have a physical page for those things, but when someone typed in that address, it would just redirect to those other links. Obviously, you can use things like Rebrandly to do this, but because I could do it in Squarespace, I didn't bother paying for Rebrandly because I just used the easy method. So that saved me whatever it was, $25 a month, I think it is, for Rebrandly. So that is something that you can't do in Kajabi. So you would need to have Rebrandly if you wanted to do that. However, what I did was, because I didn't have it all set up and I realized I'd got a load of broken links, is I just actually went and created a page for each of those things, but then had a link to the relevant thing on it. So for example, if I type takeonetech/ecamm, for example. So at the moment, it's not technically a redirect link, but I thought that this would be an opportunity to actually explain why it is that I'm recommending the thing as well. And I might even consider putting a video on these pages. I'll be interested to hear, though, what everyone thinks, whether you think that's a good idea, because obviously when people go to a link or click a link like takeonetech.io/ecamm to go and get their free trial of Ecamm, then it's potentially, it's like an extra step now that they've got to press a button. But I thought, well, how would it be viewed if people are going through it and then I'm explaining exactly why? I mean, in this case, I've actually got an offer code for Ecamm as well, so there is an extra reason to actually go in here. But something like TubeBuddy, for example, I'm actually just explaining why I am recommending it. There is also another reason, which is not something that is intentional necessarily, but it does also give you the opportunity to promote other offers and stuff like that. Although obviously if somebody's going through to follow an affiliate link, then they're not necessarily going to be interested in these. But that did just occur to me after I'd set up the page. So I just added in like my latest courses and stuff like that down there. But would be really interested to hear what people think. Is that going to be an annoyance rather than going direct to it? And if so, then I guess I'll just bite the bullet and get Rebrandly as well. But in any case, that is what I've done. So there is quite a few pages in here already, but they're basically, there's a lot of them that are just those redirect links. So we've got the TubeBuddy redirect, Speedify, all these other ones, Ecamm Live and that sort of stuff. So but the pages, there are some that are built in that are part of the whatever theme you've installed. So these ones that say system, so like your homepage, library. So that's when somebody actually signs up to a course or something. The library is going to be where they find all of their the course content, and if they've signed up to multiple courses, then you will have that all in one place, and they can just go and pick them out of there and get back to stuff they've previously bought. The store is a standard page as well. I say standard, you can edit it obviously, you can make it your own and customize it, but it is just a sort of standard built-in page. And then there is a blog. I've not started the blog yet. I will get round to doing that. It's something I meant to do with my old site, and 10 months later I still haven't done it. So I will try and be a bit more intentional about that. And the same for the podcast. You can just there's a sort of podcast section built into it as well. So I might try to get back to doing my podcast as well, and then announcements and member directory. But apart from that, adding new pages is pretty simple, and I've created a couple that are kind of like templates, so that for example those redirect links, I can just easily go and duplicate that and create a new redirect for something else. You've also got specific landing pages. So this is now veering into the whole sort of ClickFunnels side of things, or equivalent of, where you want to create specific landing pages that are just for your your offers and your entry points to your sales funnels and things like that. So if I was going to create a lead magnet, for example, which I have done as part of the Ecamm Live Masterclass. So if you were going to create a lead magnet, then you can create landing pages just for those. And in fact, I mean, I could have done that actually technically for all of these pages that I've got here, but there you go. There's me just thinking aloud. But the landing pages, you just I haven't created any of these yet, but if you create a new one, there is a load of pre-made templates. So if you are wanting to do a blank thing, there you go. But these are basically like sort of front ends for your sales funnels. So if you want to create these sorts of one-off landing pages for whatever it happens to be for your podcast, this one was one that Carly recommended to me, which I still haven't set up, but it's definitely on my list, which is your link in bio sort of type page. So if you're on Twitter or something like that and you want to just have a link to a page that's got links to all of the other stuff you do, then these link in bio page, that was a great recommendation from Carly to just get one of these. And then it's basically like a landing page that people go to, and then you can link to your homepage, link to your store, link to all your other social places, contacts, all that sort of stuff. So that's a great thing that I'll definitely be adding in. And then thank you pages, opt-in pages, all that sort of stuff. So these are just sort of like more like one-off landing pages as opposed to part of the navigation section of your site. There is also in here what they call pipelines, which is they've sort of renamed funnels a little bit, but pipelines are you can see I've already started a couple here, but these are basically for as I say, funnels, so sales funnels. So this is actually like a pre-built series of pages and actions and stuff like that. So for example, this freebie, you can see this is a classic funnel. Somebody's going to opt in, they're going to receive an email, like if you've got a free blueprint or something like that, and then it'll send them through to a thank you page. So it's already made with the different steps in, and this is very much the sort of thing that I always used to do with ClickFunnels, and some of them you can pre-make, and other ones you can just use these templates. So like a sales opt-in, so somebody's going to opt in, maybe you're going to give them something like a free download or something like that, and then they're in an email sequence to a sales page and checkout, and it creates all of these different steps, and then you just go in and add in all the content. So what do you want in your email sequence and things like that. And these are all just proven formulas, by the way, of sales pages, and it's just up to you to go and use them in an ethical manner and not spam people. Like this one, this is another classic where it's a product launch. So you'd have an opt-in page, and then they're in an email sequence, but then as it's coming up to launch, then you'd have sort of three things approaching that, often 3 videos, or giving little excerpts from the actual course or whatever it is you're doing, and then the checkout. So the fact that it's got all of this stuff in place in one place is really great. And I've sort of jumped ahead to the marketing there, but it's because we came to it from the websites and the sorts of pages that you can add. So this was from the pages section. So I'll be coming back to the marketing a little bit later. But let me just keep going through the website section. So we've looked at sort of the overall design in terms of, it's pretty drag and drop, easy to do. And then we've got the pages, so that's organizing the actual content that's on your site. And then we've got navigation. So there's different navigation menus that appear at the top or in the footer and things like that. And so that's easy to set up with, if I want to add a new one, let's say I wanted to add a link to, let's just say my Discord server. I've already got it in there, but you just add in the name of the name of the link, and then whatever you want the path to be, and then click OK, and then it would just appear in that thing. So you can either link to content that's in your site, or you can link to external pages and things like that. And so those are all of the links that appear up at the top here. So that particular menu is all appearing up here. So again, this is pretty easy to go and adjust these sorts of things, and it be just site-wide as well. And that you can have different menus. You can create different menus if you want. So there's one for for members in the members area, and various other different ones that you can create. So I really like the functionality of it. As I say, the blog, I've not actually done the blog side of things yet. So just when I'm ready, click get started. Everything's like this in Kajabi though. It's kind of like you go into a section and then it's just sort of get started, and it'll help you and sort of take you through the steps that you need to go. So I have found it extremely intuitive to work with. There's a couple of things that caught me out, but I'll come to those in a little bit in a little moment, because there were actually things that, I'll tell you one of them. So you can join the Kajabi partner program. And so that's, I've got a referral link, takeonetech.io/Kajabi. Thank you very much, Paul. I've just looked down at the chat and seen that Paul's already on top of that. Thank you. You can join the Kajabi partner program so that you get commission on referrals. And when you join the partner program, they actually give you another whole website. So this is, if I come over here now, so I've just clicked on the Kajabi partner program down here, it's effectively given me an entirely new instance of it. So on the subscription, you get sort of one website, but when you join the Kajabi partner program, they give you another whole instance basically. And the idea is that this is going to be used to promote, for you to use to promote Kajabi, although technically you can use it for anything. Well, I came to this and I was kind of thought, like, what has happened to my website? Because I went into my website here and then there was nothing there. I was like, where is my website? It's gone. But it's because that was on the partner section. So if I come to this one here, this is return to main menu. So this is where I'd set everything up. But when I went into Kajabi partners, over here, then you've got basically another whole website. And you see this one's only 7% set up. So I'm actually going to be promoting Kajabi through my the one that I'd already set up in any case, because it's sort of part of what I do with the channel, really, isn't it? Tech tutorials and stuff like that. So in theory, I've got another whole one here to use for something else. I'll probably use it for demo purposes, like actually demonstrating all of this this stuff. It is good to know that you have that. So that was one thing that caught me out. But fortunately, when you actually sign up, like after the trial, if you sign up to use Kajabi, you get like an onboarding call with somebody, and it's a Zoom call, so you actually get to speak to a human. And that was one of the questions I had. So it was really good that they just sort of went through all of that stuff with me and answered all of my my questions. So that is how you sort of go about building out the website or websites, because you get two of them. So let me just have a quick check and see what I've missed in the comments. Oh, hey, Eileen, great to see you as always. And let me have a little look. Oh, Aubrey as well. Great to see you. Hey, how funny was that your cousin was in the Ecamm group as well and doing that video? It looked absolutely fantastic. And yeah, great, isn't it? Small world. What's this? Heck. Put a landing page for each, provide the link to the tool, but encourage them to come back and watch the video embedded. Yeah, that's, well, thank you very much. You've confirmed it for me. I need no further consultation. It's done. Yeah, that's what I figured, because it's, you know, I often have these links, but actually I thought that if people are seeing it kind of like, just like now at the bottom of this video, then going over to the website, if I've got something that explains a little bit about why I recommend it, then I thought that might add some value to it. So thanks for that, Rich. So next up in terms of Kajabi, though, let's have a little look at that. So this is about selling. Now, I wanted to talk about this because there's a sort of different way of thinking about it in here. It's totally logical and it's not really different, but when you are looking at the Kajabi menus, specifically on the right-hand side, the left-hand side, sorry, it's the kind of sales part of it is really kind of three different parts. So you've got the products, where you're going to go and define the products that you've got, and then you've got and that includes the products, if you've got a podcast or coaching. And then you've got the sales part of it, where you are going to talk about the offers that you've got. And so there's a difference between the products and the offers. And then this also includes things like coupon codes, payments, affiliates, and so on. And then the marketing section, which we've kind of jumped into actually, is all about the way that you're going to promote this. So email pipelines, which is this sort of sales funnels. Email campaigns is also, I suppose, funnels, email campaigns. And then automations and forms and so on. So when you're thinking about actually selling stuff on here, there is sort of 3 steps to it. So the first step is looking at the products. So let's come in and have a look at the products. And there is a little quirk about this as well, something that was the other one of the things that I asked on my onboarding call, which is that Kajabi is really built around the idea of selling courses. That's what it was built for. So in my store, I do have other things such as my icon packs and things like that. So when somebody's going in and buying an icon pack, they don't want to be logging in or anything like that. You want to just be able to go, see the icon pack that you want, click on it, and then just go and make a payment and then get the download straight away. So that's how it works when you go to the store to buy an icon pack. You can just see them there, enter your address, whatever, email address, credit card number, and then it's done. Kajabi doesn't have at the moment a way that you can actually create products where you don't want somebody to create where have I gone now? I've got to look myself lost. Where you don't actually have to create a login. So obviously for the courses, people are going to want to create a login because they want to be able to go back and actually access that content. Whereas with digital downloads, then they may want to get them again later, but they don't necessarily want to, as part of the process, create that login. So there's a bit of a workaround to that. So at the moment, the product section is really centered around either the course content or podcasts, and you can make podcasts paid or obviously just free. And then there's also coaching. So it's built around that as well, really, coaching and courses. So the products, the way that you build those out, I can just show you an example. So I've got 2 in there at the moment. You can see one of them's not finished. The elusive Zoom course, which, by the way, I'm going to be focused on all of this next week now. So I've taken some time out from what I generally have been doing most of the time for my my day-to-day, just to really focus on getting these things out and getting them up and running. And the reason why the Ecamm Live Masterclass came out was because it was part of the videos that I was going to have to make for the Zoom Masterclass, because part of the Zoom Masterclass is, yes, guess what? You want to be using Ecamm Live. And so as I came to look to build out all of those videos, I realized that I should just make an entire course for it. In fact, now is probably a good time to tell you about it, isn't it? So this is the courses section, and let me just tell you a little bit about the Ecamm Live Masterclass, because it is now available, and it's up, and it's been up for a week, in fact. And so let me just come in and give you a little demo of what it looks like once you get in there. So if I can come to the right page. So this is what it looks like. So this is basically what I'm going to show you the back end of this, but this is basically, first of all, what you'll see if you sign up to the Ecamm Live Masterclass. So it's got all of these different sections in. I've still got a load more videos to upload today, actually. So what happened last week, I was up to 70, and I said I've got about 30 more to add. And then I had a load more ideas of stuff that I wanted to add in. So I'm probably going to be adding in another maybe 15 or 20 or something like that. So I'll be adding those over today and tomorrow, I guess. So at the moment, though, there is 102 lessons there. And the reason for me making the course was because I've got so many videos on my channel now about Ecamm Live, over 70 in fact, 76, 73, 70 something or other. So they're all up on the channel, but some of them are slightly out of date, and there's some things in some of the videos that is not technically the right way to do things. Take, for example, my 4.5 hour Ecamm Zero to Hero video, which has been really popular. There is some stuff in there that you just wouldn't need to do now. So, for example, I had a whole section about building, overlays with borders in Keynote. Well, now you don't need to do it. I haven't used any, overlays for borders in Keynote for this particular scene that I'm in. It's just literally a camera overlay with a border and rounded corners, and a screen sharing overlay on the other side, again with border and rounded corners. So a lot of the stuff that was covered in that video is just totally out of date now. And so it's, people are going to be learning the wrong way to do things. So I wanted to have somewhere that was kind of like an online hub, basically, where there's always going to be the latest information. So that's what the Ecamm Live Masterclass is. And so what I've done is I've broken it down into sections. So for example, if you look in like the basics section, then in here, it's split down further into overlays. So I go into, what are overlays, camera overlays, image overlays, animated overlays, and so on, all the different types, scenes. So we've got each of these is an individual video. So we've got lots of things on there. Like if you look at this one about designing scene layouts, for example, this one, it has got some downloads associated with it. So a scene layout template. This video is 29 minutes. Some of them are 2 minutes. Some of them are 5 minutes. They range between kind of like, I suppose the shortest is maybe about 3 or 5 minutes, and then the longest is about half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. But the point is, it's all split down into these sort of more manageable chunks, and then I'm going to be updating it as Ecamm Live develops. So when there's a new version out, if there's anything new that is added to the the scenes or something like that, then I can update that video, and so everyone's going to know that it is always the latest information. So it will be kind of like a sort of go-to resource, if you like, for all things Ecamm. And so it is lifetime access as well. And then I've also got some stuff here for like advanced use, so different sort of advanced things that you can do with Ecamm. This is one place I've got a few more videos to add in. Using it for different things as well, so using it for Zoom and stuff like that, and for Teams and so on. So I've got videos in there about that. So depending on your use case for streaming, recording, or using it with meeting software, so things like how to use it with Zoom, how to get the best results out of Zoom, same for Teams, how to set that up, how to use it with Discord, all of those sorts of things. But then also the other things that I did have associated with it before, like Stream Deck and Loop Deck, those other sort of ancillary software that really sort of help with Ecamm, other useful software that you can use with it, creating graphics in Keynote, because although we don't need it for the overlays now, I still use it for some other little animations, so things like this one. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to head over to buymeacoffee.com/take1tech. So that sort of thing, that little animation was done with Keynote. So I explain sort of how to do that. And then the final one is, or nearly the final one, is on-screen skills as well. So once you're actually using Ecamm Live, some little tips and things that certainly have helped me in terms of trying to be a little bit more confident and have a natural flow on camera, although I do stumble over myself quite often, so take that with a grain of salt. But still, some things that can help when I know a lot of people struggle with sort of camera shyness and being on camera and public speaking and all that sort of stuff. So I've got a whole section in there about that, and then some course resources, so things like links, downloads, and so on. And in fact, it includes also some of my icon packs that are included in those downloads, and then also there's some special offers for things like Ecamm Live, for Speedify, for Camo, and things like that, so you can get discounts. So it's $147 for the Ecamm Live Masterclass. There is technically $150 worth of bonuses if you take advantage of all of them, but yeah, it's available now, and you can get it at Ecamm Live Masterclass.com. And so all of this I built in basically the last week in Kajabi. So let's have a little look at actually how you build this out, shall we? You'll notice over here as well, I've also got some things for, like, in the sidebar, you can add in. So this is not supposed to be a promotion, but I'm just explaining. In Kajabi, you've got this whole sidebar to play with, so you can add in things like my consultation calls you can book over here, and then also sign up to be an affiliate, because I have now got my own affiliate program. So if you become a Take One Tech affiliate, you can get 30% commission on any referrals to my courses. So if you know 3 or 4 other people who are interested in the Ecamm Live Masterclass and recommend it, it could cover the cost of yours. But let me show you how I've built all of this out. So here we've got the products section. So this is the course. If I click in here, then it's basically just laid out like this. So I mean, I had all this organized in a little outline document, and so this basically follows the same thing. So I've got the sort of headings, so the course introduction, there's 3 videos in there, the basics section, this is the one that we looked at, and then within each of these we've got the basics, we've got the getting started section, overlays, scenes, audio, cameras, all those sorts of things, and then in these little drop downs we've got the actual videos that are in there. You can see the little video icon, the little camera icon that shows that that's a video. You can also have just text, you can have images, you can have things like that. So for example, in the sections at the end where I've got the course resources, then in here, for example, where I've got the downloads, for example, this one is just some text that explains about the downloads, and then you can just easily go and just add in like a file to add in a download there. It's really, as I say, really straightforward to do. You've got a place to add a thumbnail for each one. So if you look at how the videos all looked, where are they? Whoops a daisy. I've got a few too many windows open here. If you look at these like little thumbnails that you've got, so all the thumbnails for the videos I created, and then if you go into any one of these particular videos, then whoops a daisy. That's not one. Where have I gone now? Let me try one up here. I'll come into here. All those thumbnails are basically, you just sort of drag and drop and add those in. So like where you see now all the thumbnails for this particular section. And then, by the way, as you go through this, it just shows you your progress as well. So you just sort of go through the little tick marks of the ones that you've watched. And then when you're in that sort of main view as well, you can see the ones that you've watched, and you've got these little progress bars as well. So these just sort of fill up as you complete the videos. And then the same here, this one just sort of fills up as well. But yeah, adding a new section is just really simple. So if I wanted to add a new section, I'd just come up to here where it says add content. I could create a new category, use my good old test, add the description, so what's in that category, drop in a thumbnail, and then that's it, it's created the category. And then, so that's now I've got basically a new heading. It will start as draft to begin with. So you can see down here it says draft. In fact, is that just off your screen? No, it isn't. There we go. You see there it says draft. And then once you've got the section heading, you can just go in here and add in either a new subcategory or new post. So you create a new post, give that a title. Test again, obviously. And then when you go into edit, you click on the little edit post thing, and then you've got here where you can just select an image. So you get your thumbnail for your video and drop it in there, and then you can either add in an associated video, audio, or an assessment. So you can do like have tests and things like that. I haven't got any Ecamm tests in. I don't know whether I should do that, you know, have a little test before I unlock the advanced things, but I think that would get frustrating in this case. But it's good to know that if you are doing a real structured course that does need that does need to have, you know, some sort of testing before people progress on to the next level, then you can add in those assessments there as well. And then basically you've just got, you know, text. You can add in text and links and change formatting and all that sort of stuff. And then there's just a section here to add in downloads. So once you've got the actual overall template sorted out in terms of how the course is going to look, so the way that you do that is if I come back out here and go into customize. So with this customize, what I'm doing is I'm changing just the look and feel of the actual course content. The way that it's all going to lay out, you know, your sort of header image and that sort of stuff, and you can change the look of these different sections, what you want in the sidebar and things like that. So once you've done that once, then you're basically just adding content, and it's always looking consistent with all of the other stuff. So I've really found that to be a really easy way to actually build out the course. And I'll say that having built a number of courses in ClickFunnels, this is definitely a lot easier to actually build those things out. So you can also do coaching as well. I started setting up some coaching stuff. In fact, I may have deleted it since then because I do consultations. Cute, another pop out. So I do consultations, and people can go onto the website, takeonetech.io/consultation, and book them there. And then that can be like an hour at a time, or we can come to some arrangement for some longer term stuff. So I don't have any coaching programs that I've created yet, although I will be creating some in here. But with the one-off coaching calls, once again, it was this thing of, in here, it would want people to be able to create a username and password to be able to log into it. So I thought for one-off coaching calls, probably people aren't going to necessarily want to have to do that. So the way that I did it on here was on my website, I do have a consultation page, which is somewhere up here. And basically with that, I've not done it through Kajabi. I've just embedded my Calendly link. So then I've got my Calendly link, and you can just go and just from the consultation page, just go and book a particular time or date. And then the payment's all done through there with Stripe linked into Calendly. But what I will do is I will create a sort of more coaching package into the website as well. So that's where I would use in the product section, I would use it then. Because otherwise, if somebody just wants to go and book a one-off call, they don't want to be thinking they're signing up to some membership or something like that. So that's why I did it that way. So the next step then after this is that was about 30 minutes too late, wasn't it? The next step then, I'll just breeze over that. The next step then is the sales section, and so this is where you're going to create your offers. So although you've got your product there, you're not assigning a price to it at this particular point. The price gets assigned when you do your sales section, because in your sales section, you could potentially have offers that are multiple different things. So for example, my Ecamm Live Masterclass is literally, it is just that particular thing that you are getting. Although you do get some digital downloads, but I've included those in the download section that I just mentioned on the actual page. But like, for example, the Zoom Masterclass that I'm going to be launching, for that one, you will actually get the Ecamm Masterclass as part of it. So you're getting all the Zoom content, but then it will also just include that other product. Now, by the way, if you do sign up to the Ecamm Masterclass and then you want to go and do the Zoom one later, you will be getting a discount code to get exactly what you paid for the Ecamm. You'll get that off the Zoom course in any case, so just in case you were wondering. But that's why it's split like this, so that you have products and sales. So the products don't have a price associated with them. It is the sales section where you create your offers. That's what will have the price associated with it. So here, if I go into this Ecamm Live Masterclass offer, this is where you define what the offer includes. So here it's got the Ecamm Masterclass, and then you've got some things here. So what's going to happen once somebody signs up, and you can create some automations here. So they're going to get like an automatic email. It can tag them in your system so that you know who's bought what, and you can use that when you're customizing your sales funnels later or follow-up things like that. You're going to know who's had what. But like with my Zoom Masterclass, for example, in that case, I will have basically just come here and add another product. So in that case, I would have the Zoom Masterclass and the Ecamm Live Masterclass. So you're just basically selecting those products that you've already created. That was the one bit that it's not difficult, is it? It's not difficult to get your head around, but it's just one thing to note that when you're creating the products, when I first went in and started doing it before, typical me, just started creating the product, and then I was thinking, where's the price, without actually going and just reading the next few lines down. But that's just one thing to note. So you create the products first, define all of those, put in all of the content, and then it is the sales pages where you're going to create your offers for those things. It's also in this section then where you create the coupons as well. I'm not going to go into that because I've created quite a few, so I don't want to just necessarily actually show that. But when you create a coupon code for something, so for example, the Ecamm Live Masterclass, if you use the coupon code live March throughout March, then you'll get 25% off. So it's $147, but 25% off in March for the launch offer, if you like. So you can enter these coupon codes and create them all in there, and there's a lot of flexibility that you've got with those as well. So do all manner of things like set the percentage. You can set a fixed amount that you want to have off it. So for example, anybody who's on the Ecamm Masterclass, when I launch the Zoom class, they'll instantly get an email with an offer code for 147 off the masterclass, the Zoom course. So you can do it either as an amount, as a percentage. You can put date expiries on them. You can create a fixed number of them. You can create it so that it's only single use or multiple use, and so on. So for example, that live March coupon is basically 25% off. You specify the products that it relates to as well. So 25% off the Ecamm Live Masterclass, expires at the end of March, and there's no limit on the number of people that can use it. So you've got a real load of flexibility there. Payments is all about payments that you've received and things like that related to all the sales and stuff like that. So I won't click into that one either. And then this next section, though, is the affiliate section. And this is really an amazing feature to have, I think, at this price point, personally, because as I say, I was paying a lot more for it with ClickFunnels to have this ability, and it's really easy, and just as everything seems to be in Kajabi, to actually get this all set up. So that's how I set up my affiliate program. And by the way, if you do actually go to that, so let's have a little look. Affiliate sign up. So when you go to the sign up page, basically all you have to do is enter your name, email address, create a password, and enter your PayPal email. So that's the place where you're going to get paid to. So it's all done through PayPal, and then click on sign up, and then it takes you through to a page, and it'll have all the different things that you can create links for. So at the moment, the only thing that I've got a link for is obviously the Ecamm Masterclass. It's going to be for all of my courses basically. So at the moment, the only thing I've got a link for is the Ecamm Masterclass. But then as I add new courses, because I've got 6 planned at the moment for various different things. So they'll all be going in there over time, all kind of related. So you just be able to go and pick the thing that you want to share the link for. And then that's the way that works. And so, as I say, it's 30% commission on any referrals from that. So it's pretty straightforward from the potential affiliates point of view to just go in and create this. But it's also, if you're thinking of doing this for your course, your site, your business, whatever, it is really easy to add this in. It's just like literally a flick of a switch. It's so simple to create. So that is kind of the sales part. So we've created our funnel, our products rather, and now we've created all of our different offers and things like that, and discount codes and affiliate program and everything. So now it's time to actually do the marketing point of it. And so that is where we come down to the marketing section, which is just below. So in the marketing section, we've already kind of looked at this a little bit, but there is the email campaigns. So by the way, if you've got an existing email database, you can easily upload that from just export it from wherever else. So I had a couple actually. I had some on for Take One Tech. I had some on ClickFunnels, and I had some on Squarespace. And so I just combined those into a single CSV file. And then in here, you just go to people, and then you can just import like all of your existing database. So that's pretty straightforward. But once you've got your database, or once you're building it from your your opt-in forms and things like that, the marketing section here is where you're going to actually build out all of these different things. So email campaigns, once I've got absolutely every last thing into the Ecamm Masterclass, I will be sending out an email blast about that. But then also, if somebody does sign up to a particular thing where they're in a pre-launch sequence, then that would all be in there as well. Pipelines. Oh, and by the way, if I click on new email campaign, so email broadcast is basically like a one-off, and you would select the segment. So I'd obviously if I wanted to promote my Ecamm Masterclass, I'd promote it to everyone except the people who had done it. And one of the things you do as part of the sign-up process is everyone who's done the masterclass has got a little tag in there in the database. So I'm going to basically send this to everyone who hasn't got the tag and who had opted into emails. But you can also create an email sequence. And so from here, that's where you would create sort of a multi-step sequence of emails. If you wanted, the run up to the launch of something or something like that. Pipelines is the one that we've kind of actually already looked at, but this is what they call funnels. So if I create a new pipeline, we did already look at this, where you've got the sort of either the lead magnet, where you're giving something for free and then they are entering their details. That gets them into your email database. Or something like this, where you've got a sales page, and let's have a little look at something else. So this one, say a Zoom webinar. So this one is somebody's going to go to the first step here, where they register for the webinar. This one is confirming the webinar, and then they'll have a series of emails that are about the actual event, and then maybe after the event they are sent to a sales page and checkout. So one of the things I'm going to be doing for the Zoom Masterclass, and I'll share all of this on the channel as I create it and whatever, is I'm going to be running some specific adverts for that on Facebook to some specific groups and of certain businesses and things like that I'm going to be targeting in certain geographic locations, and so I will be running actually webinars for that, and this is exactly the sequence that I'll have. So the Facebook advert will run to a registration page where people will sign up saying they want to attend the live webinar. Then they'll get a confirmation. Then they'll get this has 4 emails, so that's in the run up to the webinar to remind them about it and so on. And then the event is when they actually attend the event. So they have an email with the thing to actually join the webinar. And then there's a follow-up sequence and a sales page as well. So if they don't actually sign up at the time of the event, then there will be this sort of follow-up and sending them through to the sales page and checkout and so on. So that is here. They've called it a pipeline. It's otherwise known as a funnel. It is a sales funnel, and so that's just their sort of terminology of that. But then you've got a few others here. So like a free book, for example, this is a common one. Where they're opting in for a free book, maybe a sale or something like that, and then follow-up emails and so on. So that is pipelines. That's where you're going to create these pages that you are going to send people to. I haven't actually created any of these yet for my my course. I'm basically actually sending people just to the sales page, the checkout page. So when you go to the masterclass, if I go there right now, which is, where is it? Ecamm Masterclass. That basically, there's no sort of sales funnel. It's literally just a checkout, and I've got a video on there explaining about it. But I will also actually create a sort of full-on funnel for this in terms of a landing page and a checkout. But I think it's all perfectly clear. So by the way, if you do use that coupon code, that's just where you enter it. So the coupon code Live March in March, you just enter that up at the top, enter your address, card number, and complete the purchase, and you'll get that discount on the cost there. So that is the pipelines. Next is automation. So this is where you're going to set up all of the automations that you want to happen once somebody actually signs up. So there's various different things here. These will actually appear in here if you set them up elsewhere. So for example, in the sales section, if you remember, I had that series of actions that were going to happen once somebody signed up to the masterclass, like they get tagged with the Ecamm Masterclass tag, they get an email and so on. So that automation has actually already come in here. So when somebody signs up for that, it's somewhere down here. These are all basically the different automations that happen. And I mentioned as well about the fact that the products, it didn't really work very well for digital downloads, because it was going to prompt people to basically become like a member and create a login for the website, which I didn't really want to do. But you can create these things that they call them ghost offers, as I found out from the onboarding call that I had, and that is these. So it's basically an offer. So these are all my different icon packs for my Zoom icon pack, Ecamm Live, all that sort of stuff. So if I come into one of these, it's basically an offer that doesn't have a product associated with it. So it has a price that we can define the price, and I've put the little icon pack thumbnail if you want there, but you can see how there's no product associated with it. But instead, the way that they're getting the thing is as a digital download. So rather than actually attach a product, which would require this login step. Basically, if they go and purchase this, they're not prompted to create a login, but they do get this automation which sends out an email with the download for the icon pack. So that's the sort of little workaround for that. So if you want to have digital downloads where you don't want people to create, they still have to give their email address and name. So from that point of view, from the building a database, this is still going to do that. It's just that you're not then telling them create a login for the website and the password and all that sort of stuff. So that was using ghost offers. So coming back here though, these automations, that's where they will all appear. So you don't necessarily need to create them in here. You can come in and create them in here as well, but you can also create them at the time that you are making the offers and all those sorts of things. And so the way this works then is if you did want to create one when, and you've got all these different options like when a tag's added, when a tag's removed, all these sorts of things, when somebody buys something, when they've been inactive for 7 days, 30 days, 60 days. So, if somebody's doing a course and they haven't even started it after, 30 days, you might want to just prompt them to see, if they've forgotten about it or something like that, or if they start it and they get part way through and then they don't ever finish it. It'd be good to follow up and find out why, if they're not happy with the product, perhaps, that sort of thing. So there's all these different triggers that you can have for the automations, and then when this is the when thing, so that's the trigger, and then the then is the action. So you can grant an offer, revoke an offer, deactivate them from a particular offer and all that sort of stuff. So for example, grant an offer, it might be when they get through to a certain point in the course, you want to offer them something else, or you want to unlock something for them. So there's lots of different things that you can do in here. Send an email, all that sort of stuff as well. Or maybe give them a single-use coupon. So once they've got to a certain stage, you want to grant them a coupon for something else, whatever it happens to be. So that is the automation. So as I say, you can either create them here, or you can create them in the as you're actually creating the offers and things like that. Events is something that I've not even looked at yet, but that is for, let's even just have a look at it now, shall we? Because I'm sure it's going to be pretty simple. That's obviously for creating a specific event that would appear in your members area. So once somebody has signed up for a course, then they will see all of the products that they've got and things like that. And so you can create events from here that would then appear on that sort of members side. Forms is basically where you're going to define all the different kinds of forms that you're going to have available. So like here, I've got a contact form. I've got a thing to basically a little form to assign a role in Discord, although there's a little workaround I've got to figure out for this to get it to actually work. But this is where you create, what you want your forms that you're going to have on your website. And then when you're doing the drag and drop of actually building out your website, you're just going to select any one of these forms that you want to use. So that's all sort of part of the marketing section. So that about covers off the sort of the process of it, and like I say, it's been really straightforward, I found, to actually just work through this, and it does sort of lay it all out, and it's very much sort of drag and drop, or literally click and it will just sort of build the things out for you, and then you just go and drop in the content. They have got quite a lot of different themes and things like that, so there's definitely quite a lot to go on there with those. The couple of sections that I haven't covered is people, so that's let me just go into my my demo one. Actually, if I go into Kajabi Partners, this is this sort of demo site that I've got. So if I go into people, obviously there's no one there, obviously, is there? But you can add contacts. So if you want to add somebody in, you can just add them there. As you are adding somebody in, if it's like manually and you want to, say you want to give them an offer or something like that, or grant an offer. So when I've given access to people to the masterclass, for example, like my dad, for example, not that he's worked his way through it very far, but in that case, I can send an email and then grant an offer, and then you can just select, whichever of the offers it is. So you could just come to the drop down. Obviously there's none in there at the moment, but that's how you can sort of add people in manually, or you can import people. The other thing, by the way, about the courses is you do get to see how much of the course people have actually completed. So it is quite a great way to sort of keep track on how people are progressing and things like that. And as I say, if people have started and not really got very far with it, then that might be a prompt to think, I wonder why that is, and is it something wrong with the course, and send an email to find out if they've got an issue with it, if they're having difficulty with it, or whatever. So that's just quite good, and just to be able to see how people are finding the course as well. Assessments. So this is that section where we had before, where you can create an assessment as part of the course. Well, in here you would have the assessment results for all of those different people. So if you want to actually keep results of scores for these different tests or assessments that you're doing, then they would all appear in here as well. People, by the way, in the all people section, when you have got contacts in there, you can also obviously do things with tags and grouping people by different tags, sorting by all those different things. So all that you would expect to be able to do in a CRM, basically you've got that. So that's what that is. This is your CRM, effectively, your client relationship management software. So then next is analytics, and again, there won't be anything in here, but this is where you would find sort of net revenue, transaction, but then also number of opt-ins, page views, and basically all these sort of analytics that you would expect to get with the site. The settings section, which I haven't really covered actually, that is really easy to link up with things. So if you are going to be doing stuff with Facebook, for example, then there's a section for third-party integrations. Here you can just easily link, add your Facebook pixel in. You can connect it with things like Aweber, MailChimp, Drip, ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign. So if you are already using these for your email marketing and stuff like that, then you can just literally connect into them, and the connection process is very simple. You can also link to Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel, and Segment. I've got to say, I've not actually heard of Segment, but an analytics platform. But certainly Google Analytics and Facebook Pixel is just kind of like a toggle of a button. Zapier and ClickFunnels. So if you are using ClickFunnels, then you can actually still use that. If you've got lots of funnels pre-set up and you're going to use this for your course content, then it will link in with that as well. I'm going all in on Kajabi. So I haven't actually, I'm not retaining my ClickFunnels funnels for my Take One Tech stuff. I still am for a lot of my other business stuff, but that's another story. But also Zapier as well. So here you can connect with Zapier to have things. That's an automation service on the web-based automation, so you can have various different actions that are triggered when people do things on your site. So for example, what I'm trying to do, there's a bit of an issue apparently with the integration with Discord on Zapier, but what I was trying to do is when people go and do the course, then it automatically allows them access to the particular channel on my Discord server for that course. So I have created a whole series, a whole section in my I forget the name now, it's not a channel, a grouping anyway of channels, I forget the exact word, in my Discord for all my courses. So when you sign up to the Ecamm Masterclass, you'll get access to the Ecamm Masterclass channel on Discord. So then you've got this place where you're still in a community of other people that are doing it, even though it's all sort of pre-recorded content. So that is, I'm still looking at trying to do that with Zapier or something else to automate it as opposed to having to do it manually. But yeah, lots of other settings. Again, it's all pretty straightforward, and it does take you through the process. So if you look at this get started up at the top, then if you click on there, it's just going to basically tell you do this, do this, do this, and sort of take you through the process. And by the time you've gone through that get started guide, you will have pretty much found your way around it. So that's been something that I've found really, really useful with it. And then various different settings. I won't go through all the settings because that might just put people to sleep. But needless to say, it is all pretty straightforward. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was, I did sort of mention it at the front, was the cost. Because sometimes with these things, people, it's not just like another, $12 subscription or $2 subscription or something like that. Let's change this to monthly, because I know they like to start you on the annual discount plan so that it doesn't look so much. But if I change to a monthly plan, this is basically the plans. So let's call it $150, $200, or $400. So you've got to know that you're going to be using this for more than just a website. It's obviously, the idea is that this is going to be used for sales. And it needs to cover its costs. But I do just want to touch again on this whole price point here, because this is the one that I ended up going for. And I did get a trial when I used Carly's link to try it out. But I quickly just signed immediately up. I didn't bother waiting for the trial to end because I was on the basic trial, but I wanted some of the things in this one, and I immediately knew that it was going to be for me. So I've signed up to this one, and as I say, this is basically $200. What you're getting in here, though, is equivalent to these other things that I was using, such as ClickFunnels, where I was paying $297 a month for that one. And the reason why I was on the higher level of ClickFunnels, as I mentioned earlier, was because that one gave me the affiliate ability to create affiliates for my programs in ClickFunnels, and it also had some of the more advanced email marketing backend and CRM. I've got to say that the email CRM in the CRM backend in Kajabi is so much easier than ClickFunnels to navigate and work around, as is everything else. So this is already $100 cheaper than what I was using, than what I was doing with ClickFunnels. It also includes that Wistia for all of the videos. And as I say, for the Ecamm Live Masterclass, there's 100 videos in there. I would have only got the first 10 included in my Wistia package at $100 a month, and then would have had to pay for all of the other ones. So now we're looking at more like $400 I was paying before. Then adding in the fact that ClickFunnels is not really great at building websites, actual standalone websites with all of the other things that you want to have on it. So then I was using Squarespace for that, and that was, as I say, another $50. So it's like $450 plus some other random things, you know, maybe like MailChimp and all that sort of stuff, whatever it was. But there's, you know, a few other ancillary services that I was using around that. So basically it's $200 rather than what I was paying, say, $450, $500 for. So it's definitely, for me, great value, and having it all in one place integrated just makes a lot of sense. So definitely head over to that link and check it out. If it's something that's obviously relevant to you. If you know that you're doing something where this is going to be a business venture, then this will be viable. Obviously, if you just have a YouTube channel and you're just looking for a place to host your website, this probably is not it, because it's more of a business expense, really. So let me just have a look where I'm up to in my my chat, and I'll come back here for a minute. There we go. And yes, let me have a little catch up. That's the problem with doing these new approaches to my live streams. I always feel like I've got to catch up with stuff and I lose my place where I am. Thank you for all of the links, Paul. I appreciate that. That's great. And hello, Eric. Great. We've got our European contingents in. And Chris as well. Hey, Chris. And love Kajabi. It's a great tool. How are you getting on with Kajabi, by the way? Because I know that you were looking at transitioning over to Kajabi as well. So it'd be great to hear your experience of it. In fact, if anybody fancies, if anyone is using it and would like to come on, then I'll stick my Ecamm Live join link on. So if you want to come on interview mode to have a chat, feel free. The last thing though, that's all for Kajabi. I thought I'd give you a little update on the week ahead. By the way, I still have not done my my update on my 365 videos in a year challenge, and I didn't do it last week, and I don't think I did it the week before, and I haven't done it this week. But I've just have not gone in and looked at it and updated all of my things. But I will be doing that next week, and probably what I'll do is have a big recap, because I've got a plan. Because as you know, I've been falling behind on my YouTube videos. However, the last 2 weeks I've basically recorded like 120 videos. They're just all on the course, but I don't want it to be that the YouTube channel is suddenly you know, not getting updated because I'm too busy making the course content. I'm definitely intending that the production rate and production value on the core on the channel will still be there. So I didn't make any new videos for the channel last week. It was last week's live stream, and then it was more Ecamm Live Masterclass videos this week. It's going to be Ecamm Live Zoom Masterclass, finishing off some of that over the next week to get that one launched. But then following that, I shall be ramping up my channel videos because I've got a target to hit. I've got, in fact, I can't remember exactly where I'm up. In fact, if I put my last thing up, it should tell me. I've done a few more since this, but let me have a little look. This was a few weeks ago, and I was on 217 videos. I think I've done another maybe 5 or 10 or something since then. So I've got a lot to do. I've got over 100 videos to make for the channel and have them out by the middle of February. So middle of May. So that is the target, but I'm intending to definitely meet that target. But it may mean that some of you get sick of my videos because I'm going to have to put out 2 or 3 a day some days. In fact, many days if you think about it, because I've basically got 2 months to do 100 videos. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I'll get there, because as I say, I am actually dedicating a lot more time now than I had been to just get all this video content out. Whilst before the YouTube stuff was more of a I don't want to say hobby. It was a learning experience. It was something that I was definitely committed to, as you know. But it was something that my other work definitely took precedent over it. And so from sort of 8 until 5 was my work time, and so YouTube was the early hours of the morning. Whereas now, just to create the masterclass and the Zoom one as well, and some of the other ones, I'm definitely allowing more time for it. So I've got a bit more time for content creation now. So that is the plan. So in terms of the plan for the week ahead, though, what I'm intending to do there is really trying to get this Zoom course finished off. Most of the content's there. I've just got to actually build the Kajabi part of it, create all of the the thumbnails to make it all look pretty on the Kajabi site when you go and look into it, so it looks a bit more like the Ecamm Masterclass. So all of this sort of stuff that I was showing you before with like this, I've got to go and make all of this content. So I've done most of the videos, but I need to just go make all of this. I've got some downloads to include for that as well, so I want to make sure I've got those digital downloads. Like for here, what I did with this one was I created a couple of digital downloads. I've got to make these ones available on my site, by the way, so do look out for them, but I'll show you what I created there. It was these ones. Where's it gone? A couple of things, so like a live stream checklist, for example. So this was just the idea here, was this is just a checklist to go through before you go live. So where's that? Over there. I left a lot of white space on this one, just so that there is space for people to go in and add their own things in. But this is just sort of 5 different things for audio, lights, camera, screen sharing, stuff like that before you go live with Ecamm. So that was one of the digital downloads. And then I've got another one for actually all of the Ecamm Live shortcuts. You can get this from the Ecamm website as well, actually, but a lot of people don't know about it. So I just created my own version of that, which looks something like that. All of the Ecamm Live shortcuts, so print them out and memorize them was the idea there. So this is the digital downloads that I've got that are for the Ecamm Live Masterclass, and then I've got a few others as well. But then I've got to create those similar sorts of things for the Zoom Masterclass. So like I say, most of the video content is done. It's just those extra little bits and getting it all set up. So hopefully, though, that should be this time next week. If it's not, you have every right to kick my behind. But the Zoom Masterclass should be ready by then. So that is where we're up to with that. In terms of the actual channel itself, though, this next week is going to be a bit of a write-off. I probably won't be making any new videos for the channel just because of what I've just talked about. But then after that, I'm going to really try to pick it up again and get back to creating these like mini series, if you like, for the channel. So I've still got to finish off my, I'm saying this because Chris is watching, still got to finish off my Keyboard Maestro series. This is just never ending, that one, isn't it? Always something else comes up. I've got to finish my shortcuts series as well. So I did 7 videos on shortcuts, but I want to do kind of like a follow-on to that. And the idea is to have little mini series on the channel. So beginner's guide, intermediate guide, advanced guide to all of these different things. So I'll be trying to get all of these out by May, because let's face it, I've got a lot of video quota to use up. So with 100 videos, I should be able to do 10 on Keyboard Maestro, 10 on shortcuts, 10 on some other things. I'm going to update some of my Ecamm stuff as well, because I don't want to just have everything behind a paywall. So I did do the big update on all the new features of 3.10, but creating some little bite-sized videos that are about specific features as well for the channel is going to be definitely high on the agenda, because like I say, I don't want it to be just that I'm just funneling everyone into a course and not creating useful stuff on the channel anymore. So, but the obvious sort of benefit of the course is that it is just constantly there and up to date, and people will always know that it is the latest information. But that is about all I've got for today, actually. So it's been a busy week. It's been a busy couple of weeks. I mean, the site. So I got the actual course, the Ecamm Live course, technically went live last week. If you were on the the live stream last week, because I'd done in that week, the week before last, I did basically. I think I recorded 70 videos in the week, and then I built all the site and moved everything across to there. And then this week, I'd intended to do a bit more than I did this week, but I was basically filming some more videos and then also doing some more tweaks and things like that, and then planning some other things for the Zoom stuff. So hopefully if I can get all of that boxed off by next week, then I'll be able to get back to the regular channel stuff. I've also had quite a lot of consultation calls this week. I don't know what's happened, but suddenly everyone seems to be wanting to talk to me just this week. Not that there's anything unusual in that, but it's just that it is lots of people have all booked at the same time, which is unusual. It's usually there's usually a bit more of a spacing between them. So I've been trying to fit all of that in as well. But that's all good. I love to hear from people, by the way, in terms of what they're using Ecamm for and Zoom and all that sort of stuff. So most of the coaching calls that I have are either about using Ecamm Live or with Zoom or the automation side of stuff. So some people it is wanting to just kind of automate certain sides of their business, and other people it is obviously this anything related to the videos that are on my site, on my channel, obviously, let's face it, because that's the things that people see me for, and then they decide they want me to do. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing this week and next week. So I think with that, I will call it a wrap. But yeah, don't forget, if you are interested, then don't forget to take advantage of that offer code whilst it is there. And also don't forget to head over to the Discord server as well, because I am trying to build that out, because obviously I've learned so much from the wonderful Keely from Discord for Creators, and I've seen the light in terms of what we need to be doing on Discord and how it is a much better place for growing a community. And so I'm really looking forward to actually building something out there and letting that be a place as well for my I suppose kind of the things that I would ordinarily have done on blogs, so or on a blog. So some of the stuff that it doesn't warrant a video, but it's stuff that I'm still talking about or want to have a conversation about, you'll find over on the Discord server. In fact, I suppose I should really be actually showing you this, shouldn't I? It's a bit sparse at the moment, but let me just quickly, before I drop off, here it is. So here I've got basically a section for various different things like studio gear, Ecamm Live, Stream Deck, automation, productivity, monetizing a YouTube channel or monetizing content creation, YouTube analytics, Kajabi. So these are all the things that I cover on my channel, or at least, I talk about on my live streams. And so the idea is that I will be continuing the conversation around these things or trying things out in these channels. Obviously, if anybody joins and then they've got some ideas for other channels that need to be added, then that's just down to the community, isn't it, at the end of the day? But these are certainly things where I intend to be posting about stuff that I would ordinarily be making videos about as well. And then I've just got some sections up here, so latest live stream, that sort of stuff. And then for the courses, so there is a place down here for the different courses that people can do, and so this will be a place for people to have conversations with others that are studying along with them. So yeah, definitely head over to takeonetech.io/Discord. Thanks again, Paul. You are so on the money with this all the time at getting these links up. I really appreciate it. And so yeah, that will be the place to do that. So there's also the video channel. I mean, it's actually called a voice channel, but it is a video channel. I'm figuring out how to actually use that and think about what to use it for, because yeah, there's lots of ways to do that. Whether to do like a live stream that goes out onto YouTube and have like a back channel that's in the video channel, I'll have to wait and follow along with Keely's example with that and figure out the best thing to do with it. She's obviously the person I go to for advice on these things. And so yeah, for that matter, check out Discord for Creators on YouTube, and don't forget to join the Discord server over there. And if you want to get yours looking all nice and shiny, Keely is definitely the person to speak to. So that is about it. Let me just see if I've missed anything before I just drop off. Make sure I've caught up. Right. It's so easy to use. It is, isn't it? It's like there's nothing to be daunted about with it, because it sort of takes you through. This is Kajabi we're talking about now. Takes you through everything sort of step by step. So yeah, I'm glad you're loving it. Chris from Sondela Consulting in the UK, and another link there, Paul. Thank you very much. I'm a machine. Let me think. I was trying to think of a witty retort to that, but I can't. I'll leave that one for now. And thank you very much, Keely. Well, it's down to following your example. I really appreciate all the help and advice with getting it all set up. So that is all for me. It's 6:25 here, and so I'm going to go, and my little kids will be waking up any moment now. He says, looking for his ending button. I've got to get rid of this one off the screen first. There we go. And thank you all for coming along, and I will see you all again very soon, somewhere on the internet. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.